What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a lot of information to go over in today's video. In this video, we're going to be talking about all of the earnings plays for this week. We're going to be talking about all the important stock market news that happened over the weekend and all the setups that we're watching in the market for this week. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers, and we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to us. We post videos every single day, and we're always giving market recaps. So if you guys want to, see our videos on your YouTube homepage every single day, don't forget to subscribe. But Tom, what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, over the weekend, Joe Biden is president-elect as of now, but obviously there's a long way to go in this process, and I think we'll see a big legal battle to the likes of which has not actually happened yet. But CNBC reports that President-elect Joe Biden is to announce COVID task force on Monday, and the announcement, which will come before Biden has named any of his senior White House staff, signals how high of a priority the pandemic response is to him, and whether he becomes president or not. If he does, though, this could totally change the economy, as Biden has been obviously way more vocal about shutting a lot of parts of the economy down. And CNBC says that the U.S. reports that more than 126,000 coronavirus cases have been reported for the second day, and it's the fourth straight record as virus surges nationwide. So there's a lot of things going on with the coronavirus right now, and Biden really has he's going to announce this task force Monday, and I think that he's going to be a lot stricter on the virus than President Trump has been, and I think that could definitely affect the economy. But a lot of traders are looking for the market to open green whenever futures open up tonight. So I'm really going to be looking at futures, but it's going to be a really strange thing going forward, and nobody really knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, we're not trying to get political at all. We're more focused on how this news affects the market. And for a lot of you guys wondering why the market was up so much last week, is the market really likes the political gridlock. So they like how Biden is set to be president, but how the Republicans still hold the Senate. And basically what that'll do is it won't let Biden pass any of his major bills that Republicans are, the Republicans will kind of mediate the bills, and they'll neutralize the bills. So that's what the market really liked last week. The market kind of really popped up after the election. So that's the main reason for that. But we know the election isn't over, and we're not trying to get political.
Yeah, and one big concern to me is that a lot of traders have been looking for the market to go green now that he's been officially president elected, or been elected officially. But they're really looking for the market to be green, and a lot of traders were looking for the market to be red during the election. So now they're all looking for it to be green. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we had a small pullback Monday.
Right? I mean, I remember going into the election, everyone's the market might crash down, the SPY might go back down to 240. And there was just a lot of people pretty bearish, right? And a lot of people, even you, Tom, were hedging your positions. And
yeah, definitely. I was one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're just seeing the market kind of reverse. So, we could just see a big shift in sentiment.
Yeah, definitely. And then some other news that came out was that through October, there have been 46 retail bankruptcies in 2020, according to a tracking by S&P Global. More retailers are expected to file for bankruptcy after the holiday season also, but bankruptcy doesn't always mean the end. Some retailers, including J.Crew and Neiman Marcus, have emerged from a bankruptcy court, having filed for Chapter 11 in 2020. So just keep in mind, a lot of these companies can come back. And I know JCPenney is one that actually ended up going under. But the thing is that they did end up coming back from a previous bankruptcy, and they lasted around for a few years. And I think that that's where we're going to see a lot of other retailers, heading into this technology future where people aren't going to be going to the stores as much. And with the virus lingering around every winter now, people are saying this could be like the flu. Every winter, we just have a new virus season. So that's going to really hinder retail stores, and just anything where any in-person contact really is going to hinder.
Yeah, I mean, COVID really changed a lot of things, and a lot of it benefits technology companies. Even the remote, working from home, that's huge. It's going to impact real estate and commercial real estate, especially. And it definitely changed the world. And we can tell that through the way some of these technology companies have grown over the past year.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of earnings this week, especially with some of those tech companies. And on Monday, it's going to be like a retail trader's heaven this week. We have a ton of crazy stocks that are very volatile that are going to report this week. There are some good stocks that are reporting, like McDonald's and Beyond Meat on Monday. And then on Thursday, we have Cisco and Disney. So there are some bigger stocks reporting. But on Monday, we're going to have Workhorse, Tilray, Nikola Motors, Aora Cannabis, and CGC, Canopy Growth, which is another cannabis stock. And right now, with President-elect Biden being, obviously president-elect, that's been very good for cannabis stocks as well, as he's been vocal on legalizing cannabis. But there's a ton of good earnings this week. Rocket Mortgage on Tuesday, Purple on Wednesday, and on Thursday, like I said, Cisco, Disney, Energizer, and then Friday we have DraftKings and Meridian Biosciences. So there's a few pretty big stocks, and I know there's a few big ones. Mike, what are your favorites?
I mean, I just know on Monday it's gonna be a big day because all these retail traders love these stocks like Workhorse, Tilray, Nikola, and then ACB and CGC, like you said. I mean, wheat stocks had an amazing week last week too. So I think Monday is gonna definitely have a lot of action from retail traders. And the biggest thing to remember is earnings in most circumstances is a complete gamble. And like the odds are not in your favor when it comes to earnings, especially when the implied volatility rises so much ahead of earnings. So you could bet on earnings going up, and earnings can go up and you can still lose money. So that's why normally Tom and I don't play earnings, but if you do, just know that it's a very risky thing to trade, but there's also a lot of reward potential too. So just be careful playing any earnings plays. So now let's get into our member of the day. And today's member of the day is Marama Dina. So Marama Dina made about just under $7,000 from the bot on Friday. So this person said yet another call from the bot. Looks like this person traded the Square 180 strike call options that expire on November and banked about just under $7,000. So that's awesome. Great job, and thank you so much for always helping other members and being very positive in the chat. And of course, great job with your Square trade. And she was trading the SAT modeling bot. So if you guys want to get access to that, it's the StockedUp options alerts link in the description down below. And also, if you guys want to join our Discord where you see this, what Tom is showing right now, it's completely free if you guys want to join. Tom and I post completely free day trades every single morning in the Discord chat, about 15 minutes before open. They're completely free. And then if you guys join, you can network with about 11,000 other traders. And like I said, it's completely free, and it's the first link in the description down below. So now let's get into our momentum plays, and the first one is NIO. So NIO had just a crazy week last week, and they just have so much momentum. So Tom, what levels should we be watching for NIO to the upside?
Yeah, make them break $44 to the upside. That was a pretty big support, or resistance, I should say, in after hours on Thursday night. And that was a really big resistance. I would be really bullish on this if it passed above 44, especially given how much NIOs moved the past couple weeks.
Yeah, and then we have SNAP.
SNAP, Snapchat, make them go ahead and pop above 46 or higher.
All right, and then we have AMD.
AMD, make them go ahead and pop above 86.10, and this is another big one I like.
And last but not least, we have Uber.
Uber, make them pop above 45.50.
Awesome. So we are eyeing all of these stocks potentially to the upside only if they can break above the levels Tom listed. So now let's get into our unusual options activity for tomorrow. And we are looking at the NVIDIA 600 strike call options. They expire this Friday, November 13th. There was about $5 million put into this play. And just looking at NVIDIA like on a daily chart or just intraday, I mean, they're really running, and they closed near their highs on Friday. I mean, I think if futures open up green and the market's green tomorrow morning, I think this has a lot of potential to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. They're one of the biggest players in AI, which is going to be a big thing in the future. And AI pretty much, like Mike, every corporation uses AI now.
Oh,
And it's just a huge factor in society. And NVIDIA's graphics cards are actually what power AI technology better than anything else. So I know AMD is also getting into that game as well. But right now, NVIDIA graphics cards are what power most of the AI technology because their graphics cards are what actually has the processing power to do those things. And that's why their stock is so high. And I love them on a daily level. And I would really think that they were long in these.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia and AMD have pretty similar charts, and they look like some pretty good setups. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I love how they ran up on Friday and closed very strongly at those highs. And even in after hours Friday, sometimes you'll see a dip down, in after hours whenever you see a big run like this. But to see them hold that level and go completely sideways is awesome. And it's just a very bullish setup, I think. And especially with Biden finally becoming president elect, that's going to, I think, help a lot of tech stocks, especially in the short term, because a lot of people have been talking about that if Biden becomes president, the best stocks to get are tech stocks, obviously, because those are what are going to run the future, and it's just the future of the country. And obviously, Democrats are a little bit more optimistic about tech stocks rather than Republicans.
Yeah, so just trying to emphasize, we're not trying to get political. I know there's a lot of variables with the election right now, and it's very weird. But thank you for sharing that, Tom. And now for our questions from the previous episode. We had Sean saying, Mike and Tom, what do you see with Amazon for next week? They had a great run up the past few days, and even after a bad start on Friday, they jumped $75 from 10 a.m. to close. So, Tom, what are you seeing with Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, I still see Amazon as pretty bullish. I know that they pulled back Friday and then, came back up towards highs again, but I really think that they're still going to be pretty bullish. And especially with them being another technology company, I think that they'd be pretty good. Amazon makes a lot of money from their web services, which is an amazing cloud-based platform for a ton of businesses. And that's a huge thing. And I think that that's going to be the big factor going forward with them. And I really think that I'm bullish on them, but really, the big thing I think is whenever futures open up tonight, like if futures are really green, then I think a lot of stocks like Amazon are going to be green. But if futures end up going red, then I think that a lot of these stocks will open up red.
Yeah, I mean the trend is, don't forget the what was it, the saying, like the trend is your friend. I mean, we saw the market really have a great week last week, and we might see a pullback, but overall the market is uptrending. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of just upwards momentum in the market right now. With the next question, we had Julio saying, Mike and Tom, what do you think about Big Five Sporting Goods, BGFV?
Yeah, Bgfv. This stock really looks like it's running up over the past year. I mean, ever since COVID happened, they had a little dip down, but since then they're breaking the highs before COVID and they're really running. But my only worry is that they're just so low in price. But, given their movement, they could be pretty volatile. And as long as they break the high of, I would say, $10, I think they could keep running this week. What do you think?
Okay, so like if you want to trade it, that seems fine. But just like looking at a long-term chart, like Tom, if you can pull up like a max chart on them, or just like a something to look back on their history, like I just don't like to invest in stocks like this for the long term. I mean, we can see that at one point this stock. Let me pull it up on the max chart. I mean, they were almost a $30 stock back in 2004, and then since then they've just made lower and lower and lower highs. So like if you want to trade it, that seems totally fine. Looks like it has some great movement for trading. But in terms of an investment, personally, I would never put my money in this type of stock just because like it just keeps going lower and lower and lower over time. It's just not an investment for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just a really low price stock with lots of movement. And like you said, over the past 10 to 20 years, it's just been downtrending. Like we can see it looked like it IPO'd in about 2003, ran up to around $30. And ever since that 2005 to 2006 level, it's just been steadily downtrending. And even if they do end up popping back up, like you said, it's just not a smart investment. Some smarter investments might be like Coca-Cola or even like Intel for a technology stock right now if you want to get one that's dropped a little bit. But it's just one of those things where you want to get more blue chip stocks rather than these smaller stocks that are very volatile.
Basically anything to do with tech. I mean, the Nasdaq is literally exploding, and almost anything to do with tech is just skyrocketing. I mean, look at Nasdaq's chart for the what is this? The past, what is that? 10
This
years?
is actually the max weekly, so we're going all the way back to '08 here. It was around $27 a share on the QQQ, and now we're sitting at $300.
Yeah, it's crazy. With the next question, we have Reyes saying, I'm down 50% on a position expiring March 19th, 2021. 70% out of the money. What would you do? Double down or get the same strike but more time, or get closer to the money, same expiration? So great question here, and there's a lot of variables when it comes down to this. It depends on a lot what your plan is. Like, I'm not sure if you have a put, if you have a call, or what the deal is, but if you have calls, which is what I'm guessing, in your scenario, it might be better to just buy shares of the stock rather than buy a 70% out of the money option. And I know you have a lot of time, which is awesome. Like, that's awesome how you have a lot of time, and it'll really help you. But there's just so many variables. But the thing is, I'm pretty strongly against averaging down in with options, because options lose more and more value over time. So averaging down can actually be a very dangerous strategy. So to answer this question, like, it just really depends on so many variables. But if they are calls, it might be smarter to just buy the shares, and so then you can actually have some equity in the stock rather than speculating on an option that, even if the stock goes up, your option is 70% out of the money. So if you want to leave a comment on this video, we can probably answer your question again. So, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, really, tomorrow I think it's going to be kind of a crazy day, and I'm going to really be looking at /NQ futures tonight, which are NASDAQ futures whenever they open up. And the NASDAQ really set up well, kind of like NVIDIA and AMD has. You know, those are the two big stocks, obviously, in the NASDAQ, some of the bigger ones anyways. And I really think that with Joe Biden finally becoming president-elect, I think that that's going to help tech stocks. And I'm not trying to get political at all or say I'm supporting anyone, but it's just that all the analysts have been saying that if Biden gets elected, tech stocks will do very well. And the QQQ has done well anyway. So I think that if now that he's elected, that could be very beneficial to the QQQ and the NASDAQ. So I'm going to be watching those futures open up tonight. And if the NASDAQ can break above 12,119, or if the QQQ can break above 295.60, or you could just say 296, I think that it would be awesome for QQQ calls on Monday, or possibly a swing next week. But just keep in mind that anything can happen, and with the news right now, you have to be very careful of something definitely changing or taking a complete 180 overnight or with a single statement.
Yep, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Guys, don't forget, if you want to join the Discord, it's completely free. It's the first link down below. Tom and I post completely free day trades, and you can network with about 11,000 other people. It's the first link in the description down below. And if you guys want to trade the same options that Tom and I trade, you can click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.